Welcome to CBN4's Primetime News. I am Sheena Harry. The Roosevelt Skerritt-led administration will outline development plans for 2016 at a public meeting in St. Joseph this evening. Parliamentary representative of the St. Joseph constituency, Kelva Daru, says the meeting will also address issues which have surfaced in Dominica in recent times. Daru says this meeting will provide an opportunity to speak to Dominicans and the diaspora as to the continued plans and programs the government has for the country. Daru explained that Tropical Storm Erica caused a lot of the government's priorities to be shifted. We would be well aware that after the passage of Tropical Storm Erica, a number of our priorities that were outlined in the budget need to be refocused so that we can rebuild smarter after Erica. Daru stated that the government will also be addressing a number of accusations that have been thrown at the Labour Party, particularly the Prime Minister. According to the minister, it is important that the general population is aware of the facts. Timothy N.J. Antwine, new governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, wasted little time as he held his first media engagement on his very first day in office. Antwine called on all his counterparts within the ECCB to take initiative and collective action to make improvements in the region. This is a time of enormous challenge, and the central bank is called upon to lead the pursuit of structural transformation across our region, and we must step up. I recognize that the bank has worked hard. The bank has done a lot of good work, but I also recognize that the times require to do more and to rise to the challenges of the day. In his briefing, Antwine also highlighted the vision of the ECCB, which includes creating a strong Eastern Caribbean currency, a strong and resilient financial system, sustainable public government finances, a single economic and financial space to promote competitiveness, single-digit unemployment, and a thriving citizenry of people who express themselves and realize their true potential. Antwine is the third governor of the ECCB and replaces Sir Dwight Venner following his retirement. A call has been made for stakeholders of the Dominica Social Security to be responsible to ensure the Social Security scheme is sustained. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt made the call on the 40th anniversary of the Dominica Social Security. The theme for the 40th anniversary celebration is 40 years of dedicated service and stability committed to securing future generations. The Prime Minister stated, "As an institution marks this milestone 40 years of dedicated service and stability committed to securing future generations, I wish to reiterate the call to all stakeholders to play their part in ensuring the well-being of the fund, thus its ability to provide some level of financial security to future generations." Skerritt specifically reminded self-employed persons the importance of being covered under the Dominica Social Security, that by doing so, they can avail themselves and be dependent of the protection that Social Security affords. The Prime Minister also urged the employees to register with the Dominica Social Security and ensure that employees provide their employers with Social Security numbers, as well as verifying if contributions are actually being paid. It is only by doing so that you can be sure to enjoy the security that comes from participation in the Social Security program, Skerritt added. In his final remark, Skerritt also asked employers to play an important role in ensuring the sustainability of the Social Security system by making sure that contributions are paid. Also in the news, Marcus Johnson topped the polls in the Trafalgar-Shawford Village Council election, and businessman Bobby Frederick and broadcaster Stephen Dangleben were also among the top candidates in the election. Marcus topped the polls with 99 votes, Dangleben with 91 and Bobby Frederick 73. The other candidates who contested the poll were Jefferson Centville with 66 votes, Barbara Barry with 62, Martel Danielle 54, Jestelyn Paul 41, and Benicia Allen 49. Coordinator of the Costume Builders Mass Camp, Danley Guy, says this year preparations for Carnival is certainly not smooth sailing, but rather a hectic season for them. Guy made the statement during a costume building workshop where students from a number of schools participated.
Because this year we have the least time, Carnival is early, and because of the storm pass and so on, it sort of pushed us back for a few months.
Guy, who has been building costumes for over 4 decades, says he enjoys it wholeheartedly.
It's a joy. It's something that allows you to look further than just around you. It comes from inside. It's something that some people didn't know they have until they get involved in it.
Guy added that although he should have retired, he continues to build costumes with a passion. Manager of the Triple K Band, Emil Deputa, is commending the decision to declare today Bouillon Day in Dominica.
Created in the mind of Mr. Val Coffey, and we must commend him on that. It is a day that he would like to mimic what is done in Trinidad for Marshall Monday. So at least this year it is a start where we, give recognition to something that is ours, which is bouillon music. And we try to get the history of it. We try to get all the different players in the bouillon music industry, what they do, how they operate, and different things like that. So I think it's a good start. Hopefully next year, what can...
He explained that due to time constraints and the last-minute decision to declare February 2nd Bouillon Day, not many activities were planned to commemorate the day.
The Bouillon Day is that there is a concert also, a big concert with all the different bouillon bands and the people involved in the bouillon music and so on. So, I think it is something positive, as long as we as Dominicans can embrace it, continue with the constructive criticism, right? Because that is very important. If you do not have the constructive criticism, then we're not going to really go anywhere.
And Deputa urged Dominicans to support the art form rather than allowing others to promote and support our own music. Also topping the headlines, officer in charge at the University of the West Indies Open Campus, Kimon Joseph, has raised concerns over the fear which exists among Calypso writers. Kimon, who addressed the 3rd Dominica Hall of Fame ceremony, said legal threats may be affecting the compositions of Calypso.
While I cannot stand here and tell writers and singers to ignore the threats and just say whatever they want to say, I will say that the fear is real and it is beginning to show. Personally, I am still struggling to understand how politicians and public figures can say whatever they want on a political platform, but are threatening to keep Calypsonians in a straitjacket. If we are to go back to chalk dust description of Calypso as an instrument of light, then this fear and its effects on the quality of our Calypso deserves serious contemplation.
And she said, in addition to giving Calypso its rightful honor, it is also about showing respect to those who have had a positive influence on the art form. Opposition leader Lennox Linton has called on his supporters to meet with him at the Lyre River Hotel on Thursday afternoon to dialogue on issues surrounding the much-talked-about Lyre River Economic Citizenship Program and the Lyre River Hotel project. Linton's request has come following notification of a Judicial Committee London-based Privy Council ruling, which has ordered him to pay Chartered Accountant Kieran Pinat-Byrne a total of £20,000 in court costs. This second judgment stems from Byrne suing Linton for defamation over statements made against Byrne about the Lyre River Hotel project, in which Linton recently paid Byrne close to $80,000 in a first judgment. However, Linton was aware of the pending judgment.
Of course, there are some matters that have to be paid attention to, because the costs that we are talking about here are the costs that were awarded in the High Court. There's a determination to be made on the cost in terms of the appeal court and the Privy Council.
Linton said he is awaiting the meeting with his supporters on Thursday to then focus on dealing with the Privy Council's judgment costs. 5 matches are on the cards this week in the DFA Division 1 League. On Wednesday, Exodus Young Boys will take on Glenvilliers Renegades at the Benjamin's Park in Portsmouth, while in Point Michelle, it will be Petro-Caribe Point Michelle versus Foncolé United. Both matches begin at 5 p.m. On Thursday, Starin and Sons St. Joseph will come up against MV Maxano Bombers at the Benjamin's Park at 5 p.m., while in a double-header at the Newtown Playing Field, RIC Kensborough will battle ACS Tarish United from 5 p.m. to be followed by Grand Four Young Boys versus Wayne George Academy at 7 p.m. The Goodwill Secondary School girls proved too much for the Northeast Comprehensive School in their under-20 volleyball match at the Dominica Grammar School. The Goodwill Secondary School took the match 3-1, 25-21, 25-19, 15-25 and 25-19. In the other girls' match at the Benjamin's Park, the Castlebrew Secondary School brutally hammered the Portsmouth Secondary School in straight sets. Final scores 25-7, 25-21 and 25-17. Meantime, in the boys' division, the Northeast Comprehensive walked away with an easy victory over the Pierre Charles Secondary School, and the Portsmouth Secondary beat Castlebrews in straight sets as well. West Indies' stay at the summit of the ICC 2020 World Rankings has ended after just 3 weeks. They were toppled by India, who completed a 3-0 series sweep over Australia in Sydney on Sunday by winning the final 2020 international by 7 wickets. India, who will host the 2020 World Cup in March, now sits on top of the standings with 120 ratings points, 2 clear of the Windies. However, the Caribbean side are only narrowly ahead of reigning world champions Sri Lanka, also 118 points, and England, who is 4th on 117 in what is a tightly bunched table. Sunil Narin's bowling action has received clearance from the man who was responsible for monitoring him over the weekend. In fact, Michael Raghunath, who was match referee for both matches in which Queen's Park were involved over the weekend, said that he received no negative reports from any of the umpires who officiated when Narin bowled on the weekend. Narin was reported for illegal bowling action against Sri Lanka in November when he represented the West Indies in the limited overs series in that country. He was banned by the International Cricket Council and the West Indies Cricket Board from bowling, but has been allowed to work on his action by the TNT Cricket Board in their domestic league. And despite this, he was selected for the West Indies squad for the World 2020, which starts in India in March. However, he must undergo a number of tests in England before he is cleared to play in the tournament. At the moment, he is working with bowling coach Kyle Crowe, who has extended his stint with Narin until Friday. And on behalf of our entire news staff here at CBN4, thanks for watching.